Excellent. And I'm completely out of shot, which is probably not a bad thing. Thank you.
Okay, so last time I forgot a little bit. So last time, after defeating the goblins and forcing them out of the town of Grey Falls, you also investigated the local church because the goblins disrupted the ceremony of the cathedral that had just opened in the town. You went to talk to Father Vesvantas, who there was a disturbance in the cemetery, some sort of undead beast. When you killed that undead beast, you found this medallion left behind. You got some sort of sense of pain and suffering from it when you held it. Who's holding the medallion?
At the time, or
no? Who's keeping hold of it, or do you leave it on the ground in the cemetery?
I'll keep hold of it. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Rudy.
Oh,
cool. You also met a local noble called Alden Foxglove, who invited you to go on a boar hunt with him because you saved him from some goblins, and he would really like to get to know you better.
Where's your bomb?
So, you remember him?
No.
Okay, well, you saved him from some goblins. Amiko is the what you thought to be simply a barmaid at the Rusty Dragon, but also the paramour. Is that the right terminology? Paramour?
Probably.
Oh,
yeah, with you.
Oh,
Yeah.
I move this way, otherwise I'm going to knock some tea over.
She had an altercation.
That's fine, I can do it across there.
With her father, Lord Kajitsu. And she has since gone missing. You met an elven bounty hunter by the name of Shalia, and she told you that local goblin tribes were getting more and more aggressive, which is not really, I mean, that's obvious.
Have we still got our little goblin?
Yeah.
Oh.
So you have you got approached at the end of last session. One of the other barmaids at the Rusty Dragon, Bethana, came to you with a letter. The letter read, "Hello, sis. I hope this letter finds you well and with some free time on your hands, because we've got something of a problem. It's to do with Father. Seems that he might have had something to do with Grey Falls' recent troubles with the goblins. And I didn't want to bring the matter to the authorities because we both know he just weaseled his way out of it. You've got some pull here in town, though. If you meet me at the Glassworks at midnight tonight, maybe we can figure out how to make sure he faces the punishment he deserves. Knock twice, then 3 times more, and then once more on the delivery ends, and I'll let you in. In any case, I don't have to impress upon you the delicate nature of this request. If news got out, you know the local rubes would assume that you and I were in on the whole thing too, don't you? They've got no honor around these parts. I still don't understand how you can stay here at all. Anyway, don't tell anyone about this. There are other complications as well. Ones I'd rather talk to you in person about. Tonight. Don't be late."
This is the one whose dad didn't want you to find anything.
Yeah, because I turned into a bug in Birmingham.
Oh,
That's how mating the in-laws works.
Do you remember the secret knock?
Twice, three times, and one more.
Yeah, well,
So,
I got you lot.
Ali, for the purposes of tonight, I'll let everyone introduce themselves to you.
Okay.
And then you have an option. You can play someone new, or you can play one of their already companions who isn't here tonight, the player, not the character, who is a kind of red dragon man.
Oh, I want to be a red dragon man.
Okay, cool. So introduce yourselves to each other, just for Ali's sake.
I'm Vincent. I'm a human sorcerer. I've got some magic tricks, and I've got a magical cat familiar called Dead Meat, who I can bring into existence,
Oh, of course you have.
and I can see through his eyes and such.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't seen much of Dead Meat, actually.
No, it's still little pillow trails everywhere, so he's keeping himself busy.
I'm Eve, and I'm like an elven type character mixed with. I have some sort of magic as well.
Dark magic.
Very important. Dark magic.
Yeah.
I can turn into a bear,
Oh.
which is pretty good. I think I can turn into some other creatures as well, but I haven't tested those out. I have magic amulets, which I don't know where they're gone. Hello, where's my card with my amulets?
You're covered with your amulet.
Haven't I got some sort of magic amulet?
You've got
things?
braces of archery.
Got braces of archery.
Cooler than a magic amulet.
Well, all right.
Wait, sir.
I haven't really used them. I did have some magic arrows. I've used all of them, but to good effect.
Yeah.
And I kind of like to use my charm rather than trying to kill people. So I've taken to sort of sitting this side of the table now.
Yeah. I do have a weapon of mass destruction, but I've yet not used it yet.
Good to know.
Yeah, so I'm Faust. I'm the Tiefling Warlock, which means I look like a devil child. I can turn invisible, I can fly, and I can set fire to things. And
He's
also,
playing around with a lot of nasty dark magic, but he doesn't tell us about it.
yeah, I magically inherited everything from our characters, from our party's landlord, because
Yeah.
apparently he was one of our favourite. I was one of his favourites or something.
He forged his will.
He likes turning invisible at moments that we could do with him around.
For the purposes of this, I'm Jex. I'm a Goliath Ranger. Historically,
Did you?
yeah, I've tended to hit things first and ask questions later, but I'm trying to
Calm down now.
calm down a little bit. Went off to find myself in the woods,
Oh.
so I still hit things, but I think about it a little bit first. Not particularly magical, but yeah, I was sitting about 8 foot tall and generally hit things, and that's us.
And Ash is everyone else.
You are Mogar.
Everyone else in the world.
That noise foreign noise. Moogar.
Mogar.
Mogar, sorry. Oops.
You are a dragon. You are a dragon-blooded humanoid, known as the Dragonborn. You're very rare in this part of town, and people don't tend to talk to you. But where you are found, you're found in generally military-type occupations, or a soldier for hire. You have joined with this adventuring company on a freelance basis.
If he's allowed
You're
out.
not sure.
Yeah.
No, that's what it means. You're not sure whether you should be knocking around us at all.
See how I feel about you lot.
The little miniatures is there's depending on what we're up to, Ash comes out with some maps that have got squares on it, and they represent distance. So you can do some stuff that you need to be right next to somebody,
Oh,
and other
okay.
stuff you need to be a distance away from.
Cool.
So it just gives us a way of plotting where we are. And he likes miniatures.
It's true.
Right. So, what do you guys want to do?
Well, are we too
Where
late
have
to
we-
go to the Glassworks?
Oh yeah, we've got to go and have a rendezvous.
I think-
haven't we? And knock at the door.
We
Well,
ought
this
to go
has
to
been
Glassworks and go.
morning.
It's what time in the morning?
It's probably about 10 in the morning.
Right.
So it's past the midnight
That was last night.
last night. Yeah.
That's why
Did she
Beth
sail
and
away
Kate-
on you then?
Well, because of what happened with her dad,
What's the brother's
she
name?
ran off and she
it's
was
signed Suto.
and
And she went to the docks, didn't she? Did she not go to the docks? Well, I must remember that.
yeah, she went to the docks.
But then we sort of caught up with her, and he turned her dad into a butterfly.
They were, yeah.
Um, Well, should we go check out the Glassworks anyway? Because we've got jack all else going on.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Oh no.
Do you want to take him?
Oh, does he come up with
I've
this?
got a proposal we can put him in.
Oh, I can wait here and take care of the kid.
No,
for you.
no. Bring him.
Wait, the kid.
Are you sure? There's lots of pets that have gone missing. I thought I could investigate.
Uh-oh.
No.
No, he probably
Keep
should come with
some
us.
neighbourhood cats.
Okay. I'll just get dressed.
Oh, well, you've been naked all this time.
I'll be wearing,
Yes.
I'll be wearing copy out of
Okay, so we wait for him to get dressed.
How do I look?
He goes into your cupboard.
There.
He's going through your wardrobe, Vincent. He's pulling out clothes
Don't fit now.
and basically making himself some. He rips several of your items together and manages to create some sort of kit.
Okay, now I need a weapon.
No.
No.
Oh,
Here's a whistle. If you travel
And a
below
spoon.
this spoon.
Give him a spoon. He likes sharp things.
Yeah.
A spoon and a whistle.
No, but you can gouge things from
Don't-
spoons.
Give him ideas.
Okay, go find weapon.
He runs off into the keep to rummage.
Oh no.
Yeah, well,
You normally have a weapon.
No.
don't know just those poor people.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are you going to do? This is just Bethan here. The sheriff is not here. The sheriff did ask you to investigate what's going on with the goblins.
Mm.
In fact, he asked you to go to the capital city to get extra guards to come.
Can't remember that.
Yeah, and we actually set off, didn't we?
Why weren't we
No,
allowed
you
to
were
go?
going
We
to
didn't-
set off
we
when
were
we got
gonna
this
go.
letter.
Oh, well. So we've got a choice. Either we head off to the capital city, we go wild boar hunting with Rees-Mogg, or we check out the
Alden
Glassworks.
Foxglove, at your service.
We don't really want to split up, do we? Because that ends badly.
There is also a Cyril Drocus, who is a local playwright, who invited you to his show, The Cursed Harpy.
Sounds brilliant. 5 stars.
So we stay here, we go boar hunting and go to the theatre.
You
We
can.
could also.
Well, it's
crack
10 in the
on
morning. Why don't we go check out the Glassworks
and then go to the town.
and then go off
Yeah.
to the city?
Okay,
Happy?
sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on the goblin.
Yeah. It's your responsibility.
Huh?
Yours. Mine.
So, Lord Kijitsu, you know, for being local from this town, owns the Glassworks.
Right.
It's towards the your Greyfall is on it's a port town, so it has it's by the sea. So there's some good very description of this. It has some sandy beaches. It has some sandy beaches in the cliff, and the Glassworks are towards one of the sandy beaches and some of the rising cliffs on the side as well. So
Is it built into the side of the cliffs?
Yeah.
Ah, handy.
So, do you head towards are you going to make any special preparations? You're just going to head straight out?
Can we do perception? Can we roll for perception? Have a look around?
So if you want to look around this investigation, what are you looking for?
If there are any other people.
So 10 in the morning, you expect the place to be open.
So the Glassworks, you haven't left the town yet, so you need to leave the town. It's about a mile away from.
Oh, well, let's walk to the works then.
Okay, so you
Oh.
set off. You're not going to take any. What I'm asking you is, are you going to look to see if you're going to bring any potions with you? You're going to talk to anyone before you go, or you're just going to head straight off? You don't have to talk to anyone. I'm just asking you.
In order to go towards capital city,
Yeah.
Would we have to go back through the town, or is it sort of onward and outward?
You'd have to leave town onto the main road. Either way, you take a branch off towards the cliffs. If
Right.
you were going to go to the Glassworks, you continue down the main road towards the capital. It's
Well,
a few days journey from here.
Should we say we geared up as if we're going to be going to the
For a
capital? So we
walk,
got
yeah.
everything with general adventuring stuff.
All the rope. Armed up.
Okay, so
Keeping all the gold.
you quickly pick up your equipment and you head towards the outskirts of town. The town is still recovering from the attack of the goblins a couple of days ago. There's still some damage to some of the buildings, people putting out the smoldering fires. Fires are gone, but you can see the town is quieter and less vibrant than it was a couple of days ago. There's a feeling of gloom that comes towards the town, and that's kind of exemplified by the light drizzle of the rain and the grey that seems to cover the sky.
Do we know where the goblins went? Because there were loads of them.
You don't. You did have the option to follow earlier the Elven Ranger into the forest, who was going to look to see what was causing the Goblin tribes to be so angry.
Right.
Because they're not normally, although they're not particularly friendly, they're not normally aggressive enough to attack a town. And certainly, from what Shalia told you, several of the Goblin tribes seems to have come together to attack the town, which is unheard of. They usually fight each other. But you continue forward towards the Glassworks. As you get closer, the Glassworks themselves is quite an advanced building. If you imagine most of the town is kind of medieval, the Glassworks is at the cutting edge of building. They're using smaller bricks. There are chimneys, there are smelt works. Make a perception roll as you start to approach the winding road and the beach.
I need some as well there.
Oh yes, you're going to need the.
Ali's going to need some dice.
Yeah.
Well, mine.
So what are we, D20?
What?
Yeah.
Oh no!
Come on, Chris.
6.
7.
Roll the dice. See what number you get.
Wow!
Better than 1.
Certainly is.
Right. So
14.
so what you do is you take that number and you add your character's perception skill to it. So Mogar has a perception of 0. So whatever you roll, that's what you get. So he's not very observant, Mogar.
Where do I find perception again?
So your skills, I think yours is plus 4.
Looking good.
Yours is plus
Halfway
4.
down.
Oh, 20.
In my
Mine's
skills?
plus 5, so mine's actually 6 rather than ridiculous.
Mine's plus 6, so I'm now at 13.
So
20.
as you anyone who got 13 or higher notices you notice as you're approaching, the Glassworks is normally quite an active industrial type building. There is no smoke coming from the chimneys. There doesn't seem to be any activity in the little work area around it. There doesn't seem to be anybody on the beach. It looks and feels very quiet. The only sound is the continuing light drizzle of rain and the steady crash of waves on the beach.
Can I do a wand of magic detection?
Ooh, look
Yes.
at you wand of magic detection.
As you pull out your wand
Woohoo!
and you
It's
wave
not
it
that-
and you say the magic word, it kind of there is a faint
Abracadabra.
sense of magic in the distance. That doesn't mean the magic is faint, it's just that you're quite far away.
Right.
But yes, there's something magical about the Glassworks and the beach.
Hmm.
Head inwards? Or. Oh no, mine.
Haven't polished all that off. All fine. So what we're going to do?
You know,
Is magic likely to be good or likely to be bad? Or do we just not know?
it's never been good in our.
Oh, that was the answer.
I mean,
You know, only fools
Pretty
in
much.
your size.
in terms,
Fancy version.
in terms of how we, it treats us and we treat it, yeah, it's never right. You know, there's death and destruction everywhere.
It would be fair to say that an industrial complex you wouldn't expect to find much
No.
magic going on.
There is a shop, is one of the outbuildings that is actually closest to you. It's a kind of display room. It's built into the Glassworks itself, but it's kind of a round tower just on the outskirts. It's closest to you. So you can head towards the beach. You can head towards the tower. You can bypass the tower and go straight into the Glassworks itself, into the workyard.
Okay, well, you're saying that there's potential magic near the beach. So, do we?
So you're quite far away, so you can see the kind of workshop area and the beach. And as you wave your wand, it's like a
Yeah.
There's a faint in that general direction.
Okay, so badness is everywhere. Doesn't matter what we're doing.
So either we go to the shop and see if there's anybody about,
Yeah.
or we head towards the magic and
If there's anyone about, we just ask them about urban doors and if anything else is
brother.
bad has happened. Yeah. Please.
Should we do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to head towards the shop, see if anyone's kicking around.
As you head closer towards the shop, you can see it's Glassworks, and the shop itself has large double front windows of glass that are transparent. You can see through. You can see a sort of a very polished wooden bench, a little show area, and you can see what appears to be a hooded figure sat where, not sat, stood behind that desk, sort of hooded over and just waiting as if they were the shopkeeper. And you can see all these glass beakers and various glass instruments and of delicate and some of larger nature, so vases, that sort of thing. It appears to be all clean and in working order as you're approaching the door.
But, matey boys, this hooded figure is looking down, not up and at.
You can't really tell. It's a bit monk-like, so they think sort of Jedi type, just standing there, hood over.
This is where you go invisible and go in the shop. Faust.
Okay.
Gringo reaches down and picks up some of the sandy soil, looks at you and says, "Now I turn invisible," and throws some dust in your eye.
I drop kick.
Oh,
What's your armor class?
Where are we? Skills. What do you mean? Oh, 10.
Right, make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, God.
Roll a d20.
Oh no.
And this always ends well for me, so it's going to be fine. Oh!
Okay, you manage to avert your eyes just as Gringo throws a pile of sand in your face. You kind of just duck to the side at the right second, so the clob of dirt just hits you on the side of the face.
This is not poop.
That's true.
Now you can't see me.
Okay, so the plan is for me to go invisible and sneak into the shop.
I either or send dead meat.
Is there anybody in the shop?
Well, yeah, there's
Tell you what,
a.
I've got-
Does
Can I
tell you what, I've got
monkey type?
That's the best of both worlds.
pass without trace and go and have a quick mooch round. Scoot past matey boy.
Yeah,
and
so
see
pass
what-
without trace actually lets you affect all the people around you at the same time.
Woo! With you.
And it gives you a +10 to your stealth rolls, and in game effect, it makes it's a kind of subtle effect where you tend to sit wherever you tend to sit. Shadows seem to follow you. You're much quieter than normal. you tend not to break twigs and branches when you walk past. So it just makes you all much more stealthy,
Including Ringo.
including Ringo.
Can we sort
Shut up,
of walk in the shop and sort of spread out and see what's going on without making noticing us?
Yeah, so anyone who wants to try to move closer to the shop without being detected, rolls. Actually, don't roll anything. I will roll if and when.
Can I put
I will
my
ask you to
cloak?
roll if and when there's a position where you might get caught.
Can I put my elven boots on?
You can put your boots of elven kind, which makes you
These
even
boots are
quieter.
made for-
Elfin.
I'm going to assume you were wearing your elven boots rather than say, hang on, let me put my boots on.
Well, that is what I did because I didn't have them on. So, excuse me. Can I put my boots on, please? Thank you very much.
Oh, every time.
What are you gonna do with your old boots?
You can have them, Green.
Window
That's-
puts on your boots. They're a bit too big for him.
Well, I've got an idea. What to do.
That's
If you want me to go invisible, are you?
what
No, no,
We're all
no.
invisible.
Well, no,
Yeah.
We're stealthy.
we're
Sneaky, sneaky.
Right, okay, so you're all sneaking up towards the shop. What are you trying to get a better look through the window? What are you
yeah,
trying
and
to
see if there's my first, if you're trying to sell something, putting a ominous hooded figure on your front counter is unusual. So
As you come closer,
we're just
you
trying
can
to
see
what's
that the hooded figure appears to be standing in front of a book, which
Yeah.
is on the counter, and is making marks in the book.
cool.
You can't see anyone else.
Nothing smashed up. It looks like you would expect it to look if you were going in there to go and buy a beaker.
It doesn't seem to be very active. Again, it's kind of quiet. You can see that there's a kind of bell to alert visitors as they walk through, alert the people as they walk through the door.
We're here. Hey, Paul.
Everything just seems very still. Make a perception roll. I say elven ears only. So try.
Well,
Okay.
so I'm just going to roll sevens all
six.
night. +6, yeah.
Okay. No, it's fine.
Okay, what just happened?
Nothing.
Okay.
You, for a moment, you thought you heard something, but no.
Oh, no.
Okay, stop this stealth thing. I'm going to walk through the door and say, hi, how you doing? Introduce myself.
Can we all cower behind the door somehow?
The door swings open and the bell clangs. Ding, ding, ding. As you step forward and say, hello, how are you doing? The hooded figure continues unabated. Yes. Can I help you?
What's mate your boy's name?
Your
brother.
Brother,
Oh, Suto.
Suto.
So yeah, looking for Suto. You seen him around?
Who are you?
No. I'm asking the questions. Have you seen Suto?
I'm afraid that the Glassworks are not open for common commerce currently.
Oh yeah, no,
Will
that's
have to come another time. Close the door behind you. Good day.
Okay, let's just close the door and we can talk. That's what you're saying, right?
No. You've come in as well, have you?
Wait. Sorry, I was distracted. Who is actually in there?
At the moment, you guys are all sort of cowering outside, hiding behind bushes and stuff,
Yeah.
while the Goliath, who is a half giant, sort of 7 foot tall character, is standing in the shop, head slightly hitting the ceiling. As you walk, the glass vessels around you kind of shudder slightly. They don't actually, because you got past without a trace on, so you're unusually quiet as you come through.
Can I go into stealth and have a check around?
You are in stealth.
Oh,
okay. So he's basically said, "We're not open. Fuck off." And my reaction to that is, when I say I'm looking for him, I know he's here. We're going to go find him. either show us the way, or we just go, oh, we're going to go stomping, or I'm going to go stomping around and look for him myself. So
Would be ill-advised.
Yeah,
to
I'm
take
used to that.
violent action.
I'm not being violent. I'm just looking for my man.
Can I roll for insight to check out what his intentions are?
Yes. Roll insight.
And D20?
Yep.
Oh, God.
In fact, Chris, also make a
16.
perception roll.
10 plus 6. 10 plus 6.
All right. He's really annoying. He's kind of hard to read. He has this weird dullness to the tone of his voice.
Okay.
Make a perception roll.
Okay. 13 and 6, is it?
Yeah.
13 and 6.
You notice that as he's talking, he doesn't seem to be taking most people's voice. You're very perceptive. Your ears are. You've got big pointy ears. The real. You can kind of hear people when they breathe, when they take a pause. He doesn't seem to do any of that. It's very sort of monotone as he comes out. It's slight exasperation, but there's a consistent tone to his voice.
This is not good. I think we should
Say left.
probably exit. So I think he might be.
Exit chased by a bear.
To leave, or do I have to call someone?
If that's someone's Suto, then yeah.
I think we've got to
Yeah.
end up in a real situation here.
We might do.
I've got an idea.
What's your idea?
What's your idea?
Chuck.
I mean, it's not
Dragonborn.
exactly the worst idea, is it?
Playing invisible.
No. Okay, so
Or we turn Ringo invisible. That's what happens.
Gringo in
clearly this guy isn't fazed by me at all. That would be fair to say.
Yeah, of all the people that
Do you want to try and intimidate? Make an
Yeah, you've
intimidation.
got intimidation, haven't you?
27 foot, that should be enough.
10.
As you step forward to press upon him, you notice that his actions seem very repetitive. As he's talking to you, as you're trying to sort of repeat on him, you've noticed that all the time he's talking to you, he's making the same mark in the book.
As if he'd been puppeted or something.
Right, so I would hazard the guess that he's not actually there, or
Yeah,
he's being
something.
animated. So
Yeah.
he's probably not a badass himself, but he's
No.
just been put there to stop people coming in.
Mm.
So either we
We go
ignore
through
him, or it ends badly.
I think it's probably going to end badly anyway.
Yeah.
We probably.
Do you know what? Just go for it. Sort of push past him. I take it the back of the shop end goes into the Glassworks, does it?
It does, yeah.
Yeah. Ignore the geezer, jump the counter, walk past him.
You go past him. There's two doors past him. So there's one. There's two wooden doors past him. They look quite similar. So this is a round room, and there's two doors through. One on the left, one on the right.
Yeah.
Which one are you? As you jump past him, he makes no movement, but he does drop the pen.
Right.
And he stops moving.
Okay. But doesn't say anything more.
He's still completely cloaked.
So
And we've got two doors now. And we don't know where they lead. We don't know if they lead to the same place.
Well, one goes left, one goes right.
And are we all going with you?
Actually, there's yes, there's one on the left, one on the right.
Which way do you want to go? Left or right?
Left, always left.
Always left. Sinister.
The door is locked.
Yeah. Well, don't worry about that. We go.
Let's
So
do
are you
one
trying to pick the lock, or are you trying to break it down?
I'm going to pick the lock.
Okay. So you have thieves' tools.
I think I do somewhere. don't I? Other possession.
Mine's in proficiencies and languages. Yeah, because I have fuse tools. It's under proficiencies and languages.
I don't pick locks.
Oh. You think I don't pick locks?
No, I do.
I do.
Yeah, let Gringo have at it.
You can have a go though. Roll a d20 and we'll say you're proficient, so add 4 to it.
18.
The lock clicks. You put in your lock pick, you tumble around, you find the tumblers, the lock clicks, and the door swings open into a stone corridor. On the sides of the walls, there's a short passageway forward and a long passageway to your right. You can feel heat coming off the stone walls as if you're approaching a furnace towards the right. The stone walls are lit by small glass circles that are on the wall, and they're glowing with a soft white light magically.
Marvellous. So, furnacey down to the right. What was the other way?
There's a short corridor. There's a set of double doors that you can see at the end, and in fact, it feels pretty hot both directions.
Okay, so in good firefighting mode, we're going to maintain a left-hand wall and go left
Okay.
towards your double doors.
You head towards the double doors, and you you see the doors themselves. As you get closer, they're slightly ajar, and they as you step forward, there's a slight breeze. The door swings open, revealing a set of stairs that goes down towards the beach. There's another set of double doors that are tucked away into an annex, so you didn't quite see them when you went forward. And they seem to they're metal doors, and behind it feels very hot. And you see towards the beach there appears to be a ruined ship by the beach.
That we couldn't see previously.
No, it was masked by the outcrop.
That's and if we were maintaining a left-hand wall, that would be the double doors would be down to the beach. Should we go check the ship out?
Yeah.
See if we can find something.
The fire makes me think there might be another dragon out there, and that doesn't.
I mean, what we could also do is send Gringo towards the hot door and see what happens.
Well, right,
It's the glassworks.
but it is a
It's gonna be
glassworks.
hot
However,
anyway,
there wasn't any smoke coming out of
Furnace.
anywhere, was there?
No.
So, yeah, let's go to the beach, check out the ship.
That'd be where the magic is.
No, but we now think it was a magic aura so that people couldn't see it. That's my guess.
Okay.
We put Dragonborn in the front. I like having you on.
Right. One second. As you head towards the beach, I'd like you all to make perception rolls.
So that's a D20.
16.
4, let me clear some space.
Yeah. Perception. Oh God. 4.
6.
Yeah.
You're the most perceptive of all of us so far.
I'm
Oh, am I?
I'm 11.
No, Ali.
Oh, Ali is.
No, I'm 10.
I was 16.
Yeah, but you'll have a modifier on that. What's
I don't think Margot has one,
That's
has he?
0.
Because he's not very perceptive.
No, I think I'm a bit thick.
okay? So we're coming at it
In
from
fact, I'm not even looking in the right direction.
here.
Yes, you're coming down from that direction. You can see that the ship there are various symbols on it, but one that's most prominent is a large blue arrow that goes straight forward, and you can see something engraved in what languages do you speak?
I speak all.
It's Dwarven. So if any of you can speak
Yeah,
Dwarven,
I've got Dwarvish.
it says blue line shipping in Dwarvish.
That sounds familiar.
Does it look recently shipwrecked, or does it look like it's like this in there for?
No, that one's
Forever.
quite old, but this one looks fairly recently damaged.
So
Was that the line of the?
I think it might even be. Isn't one of the companies?
no, that's
Yeah.
maybe Your main squeeze is Dad's
Yeah.
shipping company.
Yeah.
That owns the other half of the pub.
So are you going? What are you going to do?
Is it worth doing another detect magic, or will it actually gain us any more insight?
You can do it 3 times a day, I think, with
Yeah.
the wand. So what are you going to do with the wand? What are you going to point
just-
at? If you're closer, you need to
Yeah.
kind of
So
direct it.
so if I just point it directly at the probably at the try to see in the ship where the store
Starboard bow, starboard bow.
Middle bit.
the middle bit. Yeah.
So as you
Yeah.
move your wand
I'm glad
slightly, there is a strong sense of magical energy in the ship somewhere.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Head in.
Idea. Can we do
Cool.
a perception check to see if there are any footprints in the sand?
Oh, good shout.
All right. You can make a roll. You can roll with advantage. You can roll twice.
18.
Okay, that's enough.
Mm.
11.
Kevin, as you think, as your friends start to head towards the ship, you think to call wait, and as you wait, you can see that the sand ripples slightly, as if wind or otherwise undulating, but there was something else. There was a kind of ripple around this area. The sand moved. There's no footprints, but the sand moved. It definitely moved. No one else saw that.
Looked like there was some movement in the sand over there.
Do you think it was something under the sand or something that we can't perceive?
I've got an idea. Jack, throw Gringo. Where I saw the sand move.
You want me to investigate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye, Gringo.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Gonna look in the hole.
Oh no. What have we done?
So he walked-
Woo, shiny.
That's not so good.
You can hear the rummaging, of someone going through boxes. You can hear lots of things crashing.
Ooh, sharp, shiny. Ow.
Okay.
Ah, not good. Don't eat.
Can I suggest we tie ourselves to each other and proceed across the sand?
The rope. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you take some time to tie a rope around each other. Can I have an order of which you're going to move?
Biggest to
Yeah.
visibilist.
How about the opposite way around? So we got
Yeah.
you at the front. I'll go next.
Yeah.
Who next?
Yeah.
Neve, Vincent, Faust.
That's
Is it sorry? Oh yeah.
So basically, if somebody's like picking up the person at the back on the plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But you can go invisible.
And then I get attacked.
If I'm being eaten alive, going invisible is going to be a massive help.
As you start trudging through the sand, you just get this uneasy feeling, this kind of chill going up the back of your spine. All make perception rolls.
11.
18.
12.
7.
Right. So, anyone who got 12 or higher is not surprised. Anyone who got 12 or higher notices that on the deck of the ship, these skeletal and rotting dwarven corpses start rising from the deck. They're carrying axes and crossbows, and they start just lumbering forward. And the first thing that those of you who got below 12 notice is a crossbow bolt firing. And then, in fact, they're all going to take. And in fact, those of you who got 12 or higher, roll initiative. Everyone roll initiative, but those of you who rolled 12 or higher will get to go this go.
18 again.
Nine.
So I think this is the way to
Nine.
die.
9.
1.
14.
I don't think I'm very clever.
Also, my initiative +2. So
But you do
13.
get to go this time.
No,
Right.
I've got less than that.
No, you got 12.
How do you get your initiative? Do you
You
have
just roll
anything about
d20, add your dexterity modifier.
Now add your initiative modifier,
Initiative modifier,
which I think is your dexterity.
which is mostly your dexterity.
Yes, I'm on 20.
Do I have an initiative tool?
You do. Your initiative is +3, I think.
Nothing is. Yeah.
So,
I got 14.
so you're going to go this go. So,
14.
all right. So,
Yours is just 9. Cool.
although the undead dwarves have the advantage on you, they rush up from the ground. They're carrying their weapons. Neve's elven eyes spot them before anybody else. You get to go. What are you going to do? You are tied to the others in rope.
And you're in the middle.
Yeah.
You can still kind of edge towards the side and fire your bow if you want to.
Yeah, can I do a... Have I still got the lots of arrows?
You do. You've got a kind of it's in your spells, I think. Remember, you're a druid as well.
Oh yeah, okay.
Why do all my spells have to involve fire when this is a wooden ship? Would everybody care if I accidentally incinerated another party member?
Yes, certainly.
Which one?
Gringo.
I think Gringo might.
That's fine, his will say it's all left to me again anyway.
Oh, my shiny beard.
Do you think it's worth checking if this is a spell?
It's shiny
or not?
things.
No, I think this is.
Just shoot at him.
Yeah.
Oh, Vincent, shiny thingies belong to us.
Okay, I apparently have flame arrows. No,
Huh?
I apparently have flame
Oh
arrows.
no. I hate you.
Just do normal hours. I mean, they're only dwarven things. Just do normal.
No, I
Yeah.
was going to send like a load of them.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I don't know if I've got that
can I have
anymore
a
because I
look?
lost a load of things, didn't I?
Can I have a look? I can look at your character from here. I think.
I seem to have. I don't have the thing that I had before.
No, because we reinvented your character to
No,
be
I
more
know that's
druidy.
fine, but that's what I was asking. Do I have it or not? But I
It
have
should be-
flame arrows. So what do they do?
Flame arrows turn all of your arrows into mini fireballs.
Okay. All right. Do any of these look like they're the particularly the nasty one? I'm going to take this one out.
Yeah.
So I can step this way enough to be able
You
to.
can step about 2 steps away from any one person. You can't be more. You need to be. Yeah, that's about as far as you can get.
So I can get to there. So I'm going to fire on that one. On
Okay.
my flame arrows.
All right. Cool. What's it say? The damage the flame arrow does.
1d6 fire. It says you touch a quiver containing arrows or bolts when a target is hit by a ranged weapon attack using a piece of ammunition drawn from the quiver. The target takes an extra 1d6 fire damage.
So basically crossbow plus extra d6.
So you will do your normal damage, and you will also do an extra d6 worth of damage, fire damage.
Right. Where's my normal damage?
It should be on your character. I'm loading up your character sheet so I can see it. Sorry. I think it's probably about d8 plus your dex modifier, so it's about d8 plus 6.
Plus
So just roll a d20, see if you hit. Okay, so 9 plus 6, which would be enough, so be about 15. So you fire, you reach into your, you touch your quiver, you mutter an arcane word that you found, the druidic powers of elemental fire that you have studied in the forest. You reach into your quiver, and as you pull the arrow, it turns into a living flame. And you fire the bolt, it hits there, there is a boom. Roll a d8 plus d6.
Which is the
Yeah, that's it.
Is it?
The dummy one, yeah.
Okay. Plus a what?
D6.
Which is the normal die. Yeah.
Which is a
Normal die.
this one.
Yeah.
3.
7. You add your 6 to it. That's 10 plus 6, which is 16.
Yeah.
And that's 2 of them there. There is a massive surge of flame, and
Take 2 of them.
2 of them are blown away.
Nice.
Like, I love the idea that you run towards them and we're going, no way!
Okay, so that was initiative 14. 13, 12. The undead dwarves. So huh?
Hang on, are we going down? I didn't get to go.
Okay, what was your initiative?
Mine was 20.
Go.
Well, your initiative was 20.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
but
Did you make the perception roll?
Yeah, I rolled 18 on that.
All right, fine. Go. You're first.
Okay, so I will untie myself and start flying.
Untying yourself will take your action.
Oh,
don't stop flying.
You
okay.
can take an action, you can move, and you can do a bonus action.
So can I move that way and then Eldritch Blast?
Eldritch Blast takes an action, so it's not a bonus action, it's an action. You move 2, you don't untie yourself. You
No.
move 2 squares. Okay, so whoever this is getting pulled quite tightly. In fact, I'll say you're shuffled this way, and that pulls you. Actually, make a strength. I think you can't move quite as fast, so you can move back there. Otherwise, you're going to have to pull against
Yeah, good luck.
Jeff. But luckily, Eldritch Blast has a long range, and your line of sight isn't blocked, so you can still shoot one with Eldritch Blast.
I'm going to shoot the far away boy.
Right, you get 2 Eldritch Blasts, so you can shoot 2 different people if you want to,
And
but it's 2 attack rolls.
This one here as well.
Okay, go for it.
So I have to do D20 twice, is that?
Yes,
4?
it's a miss, unfortunately.
16.
That's definitely a hit. So you hit one of them, roll a d10, plus I think it's agonizing, so you roll, and you add, I think, 4 damage to that. So roll a d10 plus 4.
Plus 5.
Is it plus 5? Your charisma is that high. Go for it.
I've got one here.
I've got one here if you want one.
That's the other one. Yeah. 13.
Okay, which one do you hit?
Far away boy.
He is, there is a purplish bolt of energy that blasts from your hands, and he is consumed by shadows. The bones crumble.
Nice.
Right.
Is I hate to ask this. What's Gringo doing at the moment?
He's in the hole, isn't he?
He's
No,
in the hole.
but is he not aware of
You
the
can't
noise?
see him.
But he's not aware of the noise. He's
You're
just
not sure. You
he's
don't
too
know.
busy
Gringo
just
could be dead.
ransacking the place.
Gringo could have eaten one too many shiny things that should have been eaten.
I suffer. Okay.
I thought he was pleading with something else not to eat him.
Oh, possibly. Hopefully.
Okay, so
So who's next?
I've got 9.
the dwarfs.
Oh, dwarfs are
This lead dwarf here stands on the prow of the ship, leans forward, and his jaw kind of cracks open, goes down,
It's a snake.
and he goes, and this toxic fume of gas reaches forward in a cone this way. I want you all to make Constitution saving throws.
Weird.
D20.
So roll a d20, add your Constitution saving throw modifier to it. It should be on your character sheet. I think yours is something insanely high, so yours is like
I
plus
just rolled
7.
a 16 as well.
All right, fantastic. So as this noxious cloud of gas
Yeah, I rolled
comes
a 5,
towards you,
so
you kind of breathe
Not looking good for
deeply
us.
and have a slight cough, but it does not affect your draconian constitution.
Oh god! Oh god!
Plus 1, 4.
6.
6.
Okay, you
Big
start.
Yeah.
Oh, screwed.
You start
This is game over.
you start vomiting. You start puking. Anyone who failed their saving throw gets sort of 15 or lower starts vomiting. You are now at disadvantage to all of your attacks.
So roll twice and then take the lowest.
Yeah. Okay, so and the other 2 undead dwarf, this one shuffles up. They both throw axes. They're going to throw axes at the closest, who is the draconian. So they go,
That's right, you're flying, you'd be like,
You'll be alright like that.
What's this?
Really? Over the noxious gas, I'll be okay.
Stand back and let Faust get hit.
They throw axes, and both axes clank into you and bounce off.
Nice. I know
They
what
hit your scales, they hit your armor, and they seem to have no effect. It seems that dragons are invincible.
I have no idea.
Oh, no.
All right,
Axes
so
back on.
now we're on to
are you still
9.
vomiting? Yeah, we're both vomiting.
That's why they were vomiting.
So who's next? Who's
I had 9.
Vincent?
Okay. Everything that I'm in contact with can turn invisible. I can turn the whole of us invisible, and that would help for a disadvantage because then they won't be able to tell where we're
That's
attacking
not a
from.
bad shout.
So we've got 3 of them left.
Yeah. Right. I've got the spells. Ready, Scots, 3 rays. Right. Okay, scorching ray, baby. So I move a step next to tugging everyone while vomiting. I then get scorching ray, which was level 2. So I'm going to do 3 rays of fire and aim at the guys.
Fantastic.
So is it
Just roll your d20. We'll go for it with that.
okay?
It's a disadvantage, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's hope that was the one that lowest.
That's one of them. So that's the first one's a miss.
Right.
The scorching ray goes into the side of the ship, and it sets the ship on fire.
Brilliant.
Right, roll another 2.
Go.
Okay, that's 9. It could be 19. Roll it again. It was a great. So one of them hits, yeah, and roll another one twice as well. 7.
Oh.
Oh, 10. Oh, it was almost so good. Well, unfortunately, the second one misses as well, so that hits into the ship, and again, more parts of the ship go up in flame.
Well done.
Right.
The one it does hit is consumed by flame.
Oh, there we
That
go.
is the one with noxious gas. And the ship itself is catching flame. The 2 zombies on board seem to be catching fire as well. Right, so
Gringo.
he comes back in.
Oh, great. I think that's just a toast.
Well, no, Gringo might have picked up something that might be helpful.
Right.
We'll never know.
Okay, so top of the initiative round, Mogar, I think.
Well,
You're 20, aren't you?
Yeah.
So those of you who got surprised didn't get to go that round.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't have gone, should you? You were surprised.
yeah, sorry.
That's all right. You won't go this round. That's fine.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, so 20.
So shall I turn everyone invisible?
You can if you want to.
There's only 2 of them left. Is it worth?
There could be more.
Inside that.
If you attack while you're invisible, the invisibility fades.
They could be good if we try to sneak around the ship, or if we try to, get Gringo back.
But we got to get them first.
Should we get rid of them first and
Yeah.
then worry about being invisible?
What can you do? Get rid of them. What?
I mean, I can still, use Eldritch Blast in that well, or because I've been damaged, I can cast Hellish Rebuke.
Oh. Hellish Rebuke sounds fantastic. Yeah, that's how he kills
So
Badger.
Hellish Rebuke is a reaction, so you have to do that immediately after you've been damaged. So it interrupts someone else's go, and it's like and then you immediately throw it a ball of fire.
Okay, in that case, no, not Fireball.
Fireball would be quite a lot of damage.
Ship's already on fire.
but
Can't make it more on fire.
I'll probably just screw it up Fireball then.
Okay,
Kids are in
you
fire.
don't have to roll. So you
It's
start
9d6
coming there.
damage.
You can roll the damage if you want to. Yeah, in fact, roll the damage.
I might need a few d6s.
That's not a problem.
9 d6s.
We'll just roll 3 of them 3 times.
Yeah.
There you go, there's 9.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
4, 8, 11, 14, 17, 23, 28, 30, 33.
Okay, so as you focus and you turn your energy inwards, a small ball of flame appears in your hands. You throw it forward. It hits the ship, and there is a huge explosion that takes into account about this much of the ship.
Oh no!
And the whole thing blows in wood and glass. And I would like you to make dexterity saving throws. The shards of glass and wood and metal all come from the
So there's
ship.
an action point.
No,
knew.
you rolled the one.
Dexterity
Take
saving
it.
I rolled a 3.
Oh, you rolled a 3?
Yeah.
Are we all
What
rolling?
action point? What
Yeah,
can you
because
do?
we're
Oh, you've got
diving
luck.
out
Yeah,
of the
you've
way
got
of
luck.
the
Yeah, you
other.
can use luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have different kinds of luck. I have one that has.
Well,
3
yeah,
uses.
clearly.
And I've got no dexterity. I don't.
18.
8 plus 2, 10.
I'm assuming my dexterity is quite low down.
It's quite low. It's
Yeah.
0. So
Yeah, fair enough. Good. Okay, I have an 8.
okay.
You gave me 3% fire
Okay,
damage.
so everyone who got
Look what
12
you've
or
done.
higher,
It's only a little bit more fire.
okay, you take some bruising damage as shards of glass and nails and wood hit through. What did you roll?
6.
Okay, so a shard of wood is fired an explosive force from the vessel, and it hits into your side.
Okay.
Does you 2d6 worth of damage.
Do I need to roll that? Or
no,
do
I'll
you roll
roll
that?
10 points of damage as it hits into your side. Everybody else who made their saving throw takes a couple of points of damage from bruising and otherwise. Anyone who didn't?
I didn't.
What was
Okay,
it?
you take 9 points of damage.
I rolled 16.
You made your saving throw.
I rolled 10.
You did not make your saving throw, and you take 8 points of damage.
Yeah.
All right. So they're minor scratches. You're kind of quite tough and robust. So you take a bit of damage from that. You're at the beach. There is this blazing inferno of the vessel, and
Gringo is cooking mushroom.
Marshmallows. Oh, actually.
There's nothing left of the ship, is there?
not really. No.
Go to the beach, it says.
Slag. You can see that the
would be
glass,
nice.
Is there
fire
Gringo
of the fireball was actually white hot. The glass itself is fused, and there's like blackened impure glass all around the beach on the side. There's not that. I mean, the fire is actually consuming all remaining wood as fuel. So there's just this huge tower of flame.
Have we seen a Gringo?
No. I'll make this saving throw.
That's another.
So
I think it
I
would be a
was-
miracle to get out of here. I'll let you see his saving throw. If he gets a 20, he survives.
oh, you got your tail the wrong way around.
Oh.
5.
Have you
Why
killed
was
Gringo? Have you killed Gringo? Say you killed Badger and I
Surely
killed
that's
Gringo. You're a
the other way
serial
around.
killer.
Yeah, hang on. I did it the wrong way around. So he's got another chance. There's a 20.
Come on, Gringo. Oh.
Oh.
I'm afraid. he doesn't survive.
I was thinking of all the animals. I was
Just out of
protecting all the
interest,
animals of the city.
we need to do a magic
It's just 41.
check because there was a big lump of magic in there. See what's left,
Yeah.
don't we?
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Can I do my final detect magic for the day, please?
In the middle of the magical ball of fire inferno, there is probably something magical in there.
Right. Have anyone got a water spell?
So you're standing at the beach. It's about midday now. The sun's beaming down. It's really quite hot next to this beach. You guys are still tied together by rope.
Neve has got a slight wound.
Are you gonna? What are you gonna do?
First off, I'd like to heal Neve.
Will this be counted as like a period for long rest?
Oh.
Huh?
This be
No, this would not be treated as a period of long rest.
short rest?
No. No, a short rest is sitting down for an hour, recuperating,
I thought we'd been doing that.
bandaging. You've just thrown a fireball. That's not long rest.
I
That's
thought-
exertion.
It's just after.
I mean, if we've all got concussed, it
If
counts
you
as
want
long
to
rest.
wait and like toast marshmallows by Gringo's corpse, then yes, you can. You can do that.
It's what he would have wanted. Well, throwing poo in the fire.
Have you
There's
got
a
anything
light
that can
drizzle,
generate a
Phil.
lot
There's a
of,
light drizzle.
of water? Can you pick up water from the sea and dump it on it? Is
What
there
I've got, see, I've got what's it called, Mage Hand. I don't know if it can.
Mage Hand is a cantrip, and what it does is create a magical, glowing, ethereal, disembodied hand that can do things like pick up a glass.
Yeah, it's only £10. It's
Yeah.
yeah. I've got nothing. I've not even got a bucket.
Or to put out a fire.
Yeah.
Lee, have you got any ideas, or should we just back off?
Well, I've got an idea.
Because the last one was banging.
Did you perceive whether there's magic
Well,
still there?
around where there's glass and there's fire, and behind the fire, there's something still magical there.
But we
need
can't
to,
go in anyway.
we need to put it out, or
Wait a minute.
even come back.
Dragon Ball
Yeah,
are fire resistant, aren't they?
Kind of. They are resistant, but they will burst.
They will burn.
I say Torrent.
Yeah, Ali Boy is your character. and
You can hear
You're in a burn zone. You're in a burn
amongst
zone.
the crashing of the sea. You can hear this kind of skittering. This kind of
Against the sea?
all right.
The back end of the
Even
boat.
though there's this crashing ocean waves and the drizzling rain from the
Yeah,
sky,
yeah.
you can still hear this distinct skittering sound
In front of us or behind us?
all around.
All of us. Okay.
I say we untie ourselves.
Should we back up and go back in the factory?
I think, yeah.
And wait till the fire goes out and go and have a look later.
Yeah.
Just slow down.
As from the sea here, you can see there's a long trailing, what appears to be some sort of snake or tentacle of sort. It starts trailing, it comes out quickly, but it reaches here and then snaps back.
Is here where the wobbly sand was before?
Yeah.
I've got an idea.
Okay. I can go with your idea. I had an idea, but we'll go with yours. Or yours
Um,
and yours.
So Gringo's dead, yes?
You can't bring Gringo back to
No, I was saying we use Gringo's body as bait. Or whatever's
Vaporised.
Oh, it has to vaporize.
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah. Damn.
So
Damn.
you know the
So the
fireball,
tentacle came-
the fireballs, the Becky fire was like this kind of small ball of fire. Yours is a 40-foot diameter ball of white hot flame. Okay, that thing is, there's nothing that exists there.
So this
Your
tentacle
idea.
came out of the sea. Do we see it, or do we just
Yes,
see
no, you see a thick snaking tentacle shoot almost just about a second. It just snapped outwards and didn't get anywhere. It's not that thick, about this kind of thick, like a grasping one.
Right.
What if we?
Do we want to take it on, or do we want to back off?
Well, my thinking was either I send dead meat towards, or we throw something, we attack something in the general direction of where the tentacle kind of emanated from, which will either provoke it, so we know what we're dealing with, because I'm presuming that it's not.
Stick with the big scary monster.
Yeah, I'm presuming it's some kind of,
Okay, so our options are: is it going to follow us up the beach if
Yeah.
we retreat?
Yeah.
In which case, we're better to turn and face it straight away, except it's in the water, so we can't actually see it.
No.
So we're not attacking anything at the
I
moment.
want to all make perception check.
Becky,
Yeah, come in.
Oh, great. Oh, shit.
So you get a 20.
He did and I didn't.
perception check.
11. I've got quite high perception as well, don't
You
I?
do, yeah.
I got +5 on mine, so I'm 19.
So yeah, I'm 9.
Perception.
Okay, so as you guys are talking and discussing what to do, there's a kind of lumbering shadow that's coming from the ocean. This is not what it looks like. It's some sort of slime-covered tentacled beast that is slowly lumbering onto shore. This is a small proportion of the overall size of the beast. It's sort of lumbering towards the shore. And you got 19, Chris? You got 20?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want me to write it down or do you want me to whisper it to you?
He's got 20, he's got 19, so they're going to be an advantage to.
Knowing something.
There's a beast who come out to sea.
Oh, brilliant.
That's not quite him, but there's tentacles.
It's quite slimy as well. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Pretty unpleasant.
It's Boris Johnson's natural form.
I think it just says something behind us.
What?
This
As
creature
did I.
starts to lumber forward.
How big is this thing?
It's about that big.
This is like a small bulbous part of a larger creature.
Did you say
Small
there's something
bulbous part of
behind
a
it?
larger creature.
And this is about the size of it. As it's coming up.
Oh Jesus!
It's not
I
a
don't care
dragon.
what's behind us. I'm
It's a
more
sort of
scared of that.
tentacled beast.
Excuse me.
It starts lumbering forward. You can see sort of tendrils of seaweed and barnacles, and this intense smell of decay. This rotting, almost pickled creature of tentacles and suckers and sinew and muscle, all decaying, blackened and green, rising from the depth.
So like what's the thing?
Kraken. Yeah.
Kraken, sorry.
Okay, are we going to attack it?
Yeah.
Are we going to
Yeah.
attack it with
Yeah.
fire?
Yeah, fire,
Who's got the biggest fiery thing?
Hello. Better not.
Has he got another one of those?
You better not gringo this up. That's right.
How many spell slots have you used?
Just the one,
I've
so
used. Yeah, because Eldritch Blast is at will. I've used my 4th level one.
You've only got 2 4th level ones, so you've got another fireball, but that would be all your spells until you get a short rest.
Have it all of them full stop.
No, you'd be able to do the at will ones, but that would be
I'll be
it.
able to do my 1st level and 2nd level one.
No. Warlocks only have a very small number of spell slots, but unlike wizards and clerics, you get all of them back after a short rest. They need the long rest to get theirs back.
No.
You can do it in a short rest.
What do we
Well,
say, folks? Fireball?
The other one, but
SL5.
Should I fireball it again?
Right.
Well, we can't
this will
drown
be his
it.
last slot, won't it? This will be your last slot.
I can still Eldritch Blast things, but. Do we
I
want.
think that's our best shot because all I've got is some.
Are
I
we,
could turn into a bear.
are we okay with presuming that it might be aggressive? What if it's like, hello everybody, I'm your friend, I have an idea what happened.
Would you
I
like,
don't think that's gonna be the case though.
would you like a subscription to Empire Magazine?
Is it a real deal? Do we know that?
Oh, that, well, I'd say,
Our perception check, did we just roll perception?
yeah.
Did we perceive this was a real deal? Or do we need to perceive again?
Make another. Actually, you two, as you stare at it, you don't. Although you can hear it and you can smell it, you can see it's not actually making an impression on the sound.
Right.
Is this real? This is not real.
It's another. Okay.
The only problem is, I then fire a fireball in that direction. It's just gonna keep going.
Around the world and back.
Well, there's no point in firing fire.
Exactly.
That's not
Okay,
real.
so we heard something on the
Yeah,
cliff
that's
behind
right.
us. Yeah, let's not worry about him for now. How you doing?
You did good job, Purple.
We look behind us. What can we see? These cliffs, how tall are they?
They're about 30 foot tall, the ones straight behind you, although there is a set of stairs cut into the cliffs that lead back towards the Glassworks.
And this noise that Faust and I heard, if we turn
You
to
heard like a
look,
crunch,
right.
a footstep.
So if we turn around and have a look, can we see anything on the
Okay.
cliff top?
Make another perception roll.
Both of us, or
Yeah, just you two.
No, we're screwed.
I'll use my second luck.
Okay.
Third luck.
Use your third luck if you want.
That's
That's the day.
No, I'm to have the other like the demonic luck thing.
The demonic luck avoids you.
Dying.
Yeah. It's-
Zombie Faust, because that's not going to end badly.
Right. So what's occurring now? Are we?
Did you not notice anything? Either of you?
We heard something.
Yes, but that recent perception.
So you're all standing looking at the top of the cliff.
High five with the cliff.
Don't we want to slow down on the fireboy?
Yeah.
So for one round, if we're not going further down the beach, let's
Just
all
disappear.
ourselves.
Hey.
Take the rope off
I keep ignoring it, isn't it?
and head up the stairs.
Okay. Yeah.
You happy with that, Nave?
Yeah.
So
As you-
downstairs.
As
Go
you
downstairs.
head up the stairs, the double doors that you came out of slam shut.
Right.
Before we get there.
Well before you get there.
Right.
So as you're heading up the stairs and you see the double doors in front of you, you see double doors slam shut.
Cool. Keep going.
All right. Cool.
We get to the double doors.
You get to the double doors. They're stood before you.
Okie dokie. Put a back of a hand on them. Are they hot?
No.
They're just like the doors that we came through. They don't. Are
They're
they?
just like the doors we came
Are
through.
they made of glass or are they wood?
No, they're these ones are wooden. The forged doors that you saw earlier are metal.
Right.
But that's inside the building.
Yeah.
These
so
are wooden doors.
These are just like wooden outside
Yeah.
doors. We can't see through.
You can't see through them. No.
Okay.
They do. When you did come through them the first time, they were slightly ajar.
Yeah.
They have one of those wooden bar shutter things on the other side of the.
But they have a lock.
It's not a lot. No.
Can the two of us run at it?
Make an athletics check.
Brute strength and ignorance together.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. So as you smack into the door, there is a kind of splintering sound, and the bar has been put back in place. Doesn't quite give, but it's certainly looking a lot weaker. The cracks in the door have appeared. You can hear the bar itself is splintered slightly. One other good hit will
Should
take
we do
it
that
down.
one?
You can try it again.
Yeah.
I thought the splintering was going to be my shoulder. I was quite interested.
All right, that's fine, because what I'm doing is I'm taking it as advantage. So whatever your highest roll was, I'm counting it as that. So the door hits again, it splinters open, there is a smashing sound as the two of you with your weight together, which is in excess of almost of a ton, actually, because I think both of you are about 300 to 400 pounds, so not quite a ton. So,
Yes, John.
so you break through the door onto a sigil, which has been drawn hastily into the ground. Make a dexterity saving
be a
throw.
trap.
A dexterity saving
That's
throw.
all we need to know is if it's going to be a trap. I have no idea what it is.
14.
It's like a magic circle type thing.
Yeah, so there's going to be some bad.
13.
Okay, so both of you are engulfed in a ball of flame as you are. You take half damage because you're fire resistant. You don't take half damage. You both take. You take 15 points of damage. You take 30 as the arcane runes sort of flare into you. You are both covered in fire. The fire reaches back into the beach itself, but you're just out of range, so you guys aren't affected. You see in the distance, at the long end of the corridor, a very beautiful, tall, he kind of looks slightly elven, perhaps, but not quite elven. So she's standing at the back. She's standing at the back of the
So lads, I'll do this.
She's standing at the far back, well away from all of you. She smiles, and then you notice that she has a pair of long feathered wings. And as she smiles at you, this kind of purplish energy surrounds her, and she disappears. Oh, no, sorry, I forgot. She says, tell Father Vanthas, give Father Vanthas my regards. And she disappears.
Sweet. Okay. Ouch. That hurt.
Right.
30 hit points of damage. That's not
Hey,
good.
do you want some healing magic?
I've still got 44, so
Okay.
yeah. If you
Yeah, I'll
want to
give-
give it up. Then
I'll give some healing. You can heal as well, can't you? Yeah.
I will heal Mogar.
Cool.
how much healing did we get?
Oh, the recorder.
30 points of damage is a fairly significant ouch.
Yeah,
Big fireball.
it's a big boo boo.
Has it disappeared now? Though?
She has disappeared.
No, has it?
The sigil, yeah. So if you've got, Vincent will recognize it as a kind of spell. It's something that you can
Trigger.
that you can draw on the ground as a spell, and then if somebody steps over it or goes into it, it triggers.
Right.
So it's like a spell trap.
Right.
If I give you it's
Where did you find it?
if you go to
Proficiencies?
spells or
No.
I've had it, I've got it in divine magic, so cure wounds. So 3d8s plus 5 hit points.
Where's my? Where's my healing bit? Where's that going to be, Hash?
3. 9 plus 5 is 14. Thank you very much.
Hash?
Yeah.
Where's my healing bit? Where will I find it? My heal wounds. Oh, cure wounds.
Yeah, you've got the same as me.
So
So
1d8.
If you go up to second or third level,
All right.
it increases it.
Cure wounds 2d8 plus 3. Oh, cure wounds 3d8 plus 3.
2, 3, 9 plus 3.
4d8 plus 3 because I'm at level 4, aren't I?
Yeah.
Right. So
Oh, yeah,
for
so
the
you're-
purposes of expediency, you say your spells, you heal up. I'm assuming you're going to cautiously search the rest of the glass house. You find, I'll make investigation rolls.
20. So. Ooh. 19 and a 12.
17.
Minus 1, so I'm
10.
11.
Right, so between you, you ransack the place. There doesn't seem to be anybody else here. There not even corpses that you can find. It does seem from the items that were used that most of the people that operated the glass house were dwarves. Just from the general size of the implements and how things were used. You do find a lot of goblin scrawlings across the walls. There's filth across the walls. There seems to have been a number of goblins here for some time. You find a prison cell that has been sort of used recently. You find some corpses in the prison cell.
Human corpses.
There are some human and dwarven corpses in the prison cell. You do not find a Miko.
Do we find a strong box full of
You
gold?
you do find the strong box that has been broken open, and there's a few scatterings of copper coins inside.
Mine.
Who got the highest investigation?
I got 10, so probably.
I got 17. I
Oh,
think
God.
Mogar got
I
the
didn't roll.
highest. Oh,
I got 19. Oh no, you got 19.
I got 19.
you got one.
Don't use your luck again.
Who got the highest? Sir?
I got
Mobile.
19.
As you're sort of searching through the remains with the others, you find a large fireplace, and there are scraps of, and there's still dying embers in the fireplace. Now, unlike the others, you're not too afraid of fire, so you thrust your hand straight into the embers and you pull out what appears to be a burned diary. As you ruffle through the pages, only one seems legible. What languages are your? Mogar speaks Common and Draconian, and it's written in neither of those.
I've got Common, Dwarvish, Giant, Goblin, and Orc. Is it written in Dwarvish, perhaps?
It is written in Dwarvish.
Oh, that's handy. Oh, seeing as that was the Blue Arrow Shipping Company or whatever it's called.
I'm going to read this, and then we're going to take a break, if that works.
Yeah.
Okay, the handwriting you don't recognize. The raid went about as planned. Few Thistletop goblins perished, and we were able to secure Tobin's casket with ease while the rubes were distracted by the rest. I can't wait until the real raid. This town deserves a burning, that's for sure. Rip Nugget seems to favor the overwhelming land approach, but I don't think it's the best plan. We should get the Quasit's aid. Send her freaks up from below via smuggling tunnel in the Glassworks, then invade from the river and from the Glassworks in smaller but more focused strikes. The rest, except Brothermas, agree, and I'm pretty sure the bugbear's just being contrary to annoy me. My love's too distracted with the lower chambers to make a decision. Says that once Malfesh Canor is released and under her command, we won't need to worry about being subtle. I hope she's right. My love seems bent on going through with it. Nothing I can say convinces her of her beauty. She remains with removing what she calls her celestial taint and replacing it with her mother's grace. Burning her father's remains at the Thistletop Shrine seems to have started the transformation, but I can't say her new hand is pleasing to me. Hopefully, when she offers Greyfall to Lamatsu's fires, her new body won't be as hideous. Maybe I'll look out. Succubi are demons too, aren't they?
So who's that meant to have been from? Do we know?
There is a sketch on the diary as well that looks to be of resembled.
Yeah, so she's the love
Yeah.
who wants to get rid of her wings.
And is someone imprisoned in the town, do we think? Is that what they're trying to do, release someone in the town?
No.
No, okay.
So they're talking. Whoever wrote this talked about another raid on the city.
Yeah. So a
They
raid.
talked about that the raid that was there was a distraction to rob a grave from the cemetery.
Yeah, the big Tobin's
great.
casket.
Which they did, Rob.
Yeah,
They did. They managed to successfully
Isn't that
rob
what
the grave.
we've got? Yeah. Well,
So,
what did we?
bit I heard was smuggling tunnel.
Yeah.
As you search the rest of the Glassworks, you do find that in the basement there is a tunnel. Now the tunnel leads towards the beach, and there's a longer tunnel that you presume leads back towards the town.
And whoever wrote that diary and then threw it in the fire has gone one way or the other in that tunnel.
You don't know.
Oh, it could be her that set fire to it. She was at the end of the area when you two went through the door.
So, the someone or something is doing a lot of holographic magic-y.
Yeah.
Don't come around here no more, you know. So we didn't see anything when we first got there. We got this Kraken thing coming out of the sea and Hoodie Boy. So there's somebody
Who's doing a lot of dark magic, and it sounds like it's her.
Because she must have done the room to burn you guys as well.
Yeah.
So what is she? What was the word you used at the end?
Succubus.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's
But it sounds like she's
Make
evolving into one.
make an Arcana roll. Those who are trained in Arcana, which I think is Vincent and Faust.
I'm having a lot of luck with
Well,
the
these
dice
new dice.
fire.
Actually, Faust makes this with advantage.
3. Oh no, I thought it was
Actually,
3.
where's my plus?
18.
Okay, so
My plus
it's
is 7, so
different.
say 15.
It's 15. A succubi
fine.
is a type of demon that is supposed to appear in the form of a beautiful temptress
Yeah.
that corrupts holy people with the sin of lust. It's more.
So that's why she said, "Tell my regards to Father."
Father Ted.
Yeah.
I'm definitely in love.
She was. Though you made the arcana,
Yeah.
she was definitely not a succubi. She had feathered angelic wings.
Yeah.
So what does?
Yeah, but the thing said that she was transforming, didn't it?
Yeah, into a succubi. Or from a succubi.
No, into.
He said, maybe I'll luck out. Succubi are demons too, aren't they?
So she's wanting to be a succubi.
Well, no, maybe.
I think he wants her to be a succubi.
So he's
Yes,
Okay.
his diary. Isn't
So
it?
let's have some guesses about who he is. Either it's Daddy Warbucks,
Yeah.
or it's the brother.
Yeah.
but the,
Or
the
an
brother
unknown.
seems to be warning his sister of.
Or is it the priest?
It's unlikely to be the priest
Mm.
Why's that?
because if it was the priest, it would be unusual for her to say hi to the priest, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I think it's the dad.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or, except Dad didn't really seem to know what was going on, did he? You know, he was.
Well,
It was all bad shit's going
Oh,
down.
that's
We're out of
true.
here. We're pulling out, as opposed to we're planning a big raid and we use.
he wasn't that keen on magic either, was he?
Right.
As soon as I kind of did my
Turned him into a
first day
lady,
change,
really.
yeah.
It's just that nothing happened to the priest during that big attack, did it?
No, 'cause he
was in front of the
Yeah.
temple, wasn't he? Wasn't he?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
my
yeah.
memory.
No, you're right.
certainly
He was just, he was almost kind of just watching over it all.
And then the grave was gone, or the tomb was gone. And the tomb was in the temple, wasn't it?
Hmm.
Does that
Okay.
tunnel lead back to the temple
Well,
rather than just the
I
town?
haven't followed it.
No, but I'm wondering, does it?
I think the chances are it's not actively being used for the next round or whatever they're doing. I don't think there's going to be any harm in following, going down it.
What, the one towards town?
I think the one back to the beach isn't going to help us at all. I think that's
What?
Probably
Sorry,
gonna end up
have I
with-
got lost in this? Were we meant to rendezvous and do at some point,
yeah, but that was with the brother last night.
Yeah, we already
Yeah.
missed it.
and we missed it?
But
Yeah.
it wasn't for us. It was a letter that was left for Aurelia or whatever her name is.
Right.
That we were then given because she hadn't shown back up, and
Yeah.
the other barmaid went,
Yeah.
this was left for her.
For her. Yeah. Okay.
So
yeah.
Unless they were trying to do something at the Glassworks and it all went bandy,
Because our plan was originally to do the Glassworks and then head
To the other,
to
to the city.
yeah.
Hmm.
Well, this is kind of
So the note itself intimates that there will be a larger attack on the town.
yeah. So I think if we get to town,
I think we ought to head into town and
warn people.
yeah.
Are we going to
Certainly.
do that overland, or are we going to go through the tunnel to do that?
I'd imagine the tunnel's going to be the quickest way, isn't it?
It's a smuggler's tunnel, and it's probably pretty much going to be a straight route. It's not going to have lots of branches off it, is it? It's
Yeah.
going to go. I'd like to think if it's a smuggler's
Straight.
tunnel,
If,
it's going to come out.
if they're smart smugglers, yeah.
It'll come out in the pub, wouldn't it?
Agreed? Yeah. Cool.
Okay. Shall we take a break then?
Take a
Any
break.
food?
Nice.
Very cool. Okay. Minute to live.
A cold window of what you had now that on you.
So let's make a stop.
Well,
Do I just do end stream?
Yeah, end stream.
Are you
I
sure?
need some range weapons back. I haven't got it.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to shoot anything.